Pull-ups build an incredible back. There's just one problem. You need something sturdy to hang from. Maybe you looked around your house and came up empty. Maybe you travel constantly. Maybe you're just not interested in installing equipment. Here's the good news. You don't actually need a bar. What you need is to understand the fundamental mechanics that make back training effective in the first place. 3 essential principles make any back exercise work. First, you must create pulling force toward your body, not pushing away. When you pull something toward yourself, like dragging a heavy box across the floor, that's when your trapezius, rhomboids, and rear shoulder muscles activate. The direction of resistance determines everything. Second, your shoulder blades must retract and come together. Most people completely miss this critical element and end up yanking with their biceps while their shoulder blades stay frozen in place. Then they wonder why their posture never improves and their back stays underdeveloped. Your shoulder blades need to squeeze together like you're crushing a walnut between them. Third, your entire torso must maintain rigid tension. If your midsection is flopping around loose, all the force you generate dissipates uselessly. Your abdominals and lower back muscles must lock everything solid to create a stable foundation. This is actually why effective back exercises strengthen your core more than isolated core work. Once these 3 principles make sense, you can evaluate any movement and immediately determine whether it's building your back or wasting your time. And that knowledge is powerful because it means you're no longer dependent on specialized equipment or expensive gym access. You just need to apply these 3 principles using whatever you have available at home. Exercise 1, backpack bent over rows. You probably own a backpack. Maybe it's gathering dust in a closet, time to put it to work. Fill it with books, canned goods, water bottles, or anything heavy you have around the house. Start light, maybe 10 to 15 pounds, and add weight as you get stronger. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, holding the backpack by its top handle or straps. Hinge forward at your hips until your torso is roughly 45 degrees to the floor. Keep your back flat, not rounded. Let the backpack hang straight down from your arms. Now pull it straight up toward your lower rib cage. Drive your elbows back and up. Squeeze your shoulder blades together hard at the top. Lower the backpack back down with control. Here's a common mistake to avoid. Don't yank the weight up using momentum. Each rep should be deliberate and controlled. Pull smoothly, pause at the top for a full second while squeezing, then lower over 2 to 3 seconds. This controlled tempo builds more strength and muscle than bouncing the weight up and down rapidly. Also, make sure you're actually hinging at the hips, not just bending your spine. Your hips should push backward as you lean forward, almost like you're trying to close a car door with your backside. The key is maintaining that hip hinge position throughout. If you stand upright, you've turned this into a bicep curl. If you round your back, you're asking for lower back pain. Keep your chest up, your back flat, and your core braced like someone might punch you in the stomach. This hits your entire back, lats, traps, rhomboids, rear delts. It's remarkably similar to a barbell bent over row, which is considered one of the best back builders ever created. The backpack makes it accessible to everyone. Start with 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. When 12 reps feels easy, add more weight to the backpack. You'd be surprised how heavy you can load a sturdy backpack. I've seen people using 40 to 50 pounds once they build up their strength. Exercise 2, water jug, suitcase, rows. Grab 2 water jugs or milk jugs. Fill them with water. A gallon jug weighs about 8 pounds when full. If that's too light, add sand or gravel for extra weight. If it's too heavy, fill them only halfway. Place 1 jug on the floor, put your opposite hand on a chair, couch, or table for support. Stand in a staggered stance with your supported side leg forward. Let the jug hang straight down from your working arm. Now row it up toward your hip. Pull your elbow back and squeeze your shoulder blade toward your spine. Lower it back down slowly. This is a single arm variation, which has some major advantages. First, it lets you use your supporting arm to stabilize your torso, which takes stress off your lower back. Second, it forces each side of your back to work independently. Most people have one side that's weaker. Single arm work fixes that imbalance. Third, it allows for a greater range of motion compared to 2-arm rows. You can really drive that elbow back and get a massive contraction. Do 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps per arm. Focus on that shoulder blade movement. You should feel the muscles between your shoulder blade and spine working hard. If you only feel your bicep burning, you're pulling with your arm instead of your back. Think about dragging your elbow back toward the ceiling behind you. The suitcase row name comes from the fact that you're holding the weight like a suitcase at your side. It's simple, it's effective, and it requires nothing but a common household item. Exercise 3, back widows. This one has a weird name, but it's incredibly effective for hitting the muscles that improve posture and prevent shoulder pain. You'll need floor space and nothing else. Lie face down on the floor. Bend your elbows 90 degrees and position them directly out to your sides. Level with your shoulders. Your upper arms should form a T shape with your body, and your forearms should point straight forward. Press your elbows and forearms into the floor and try to lift your chest off the ground. You're basically doing a reverse bench press against the floor. This movement hammers your mid-back, especially those rhomboids and middle trapezius fibers that pull your shoulder blades together. These are precisely the muscles that get overstretched and weak from years of sitting hunched over a computer or phone. Most people will find this surprisingly difficult at first. You might barely lift your chest an inch off the floor. That's fine. That's your starting point. Do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. As you get stronger, you'll be able to lift higher and hold the top position longer. Advanced version, add a pause at the top. Lift your chest, hold for 3 seconds while squeezing your shoulder blades together, then lower back down. This makes it significantly harder and builds more strength in that fully contracted position. This exercise is also called floor press elbows for posture, and it's one of the best corrective exercises for rounded shoulders and upper back pain. If you sit at a desk all day and your shoulders are constantly tight and achy, this movement will change your life. Exercise 4, bed sheet rows. Remember those 3 principles from the beginning. Here's where they really come into play. Take any sturdy towel or bed sheet. Tie a knot at one end, open a door, throw the sheet over the top, and close the door so the knot catches on the other side and holds everything in place. You now have 2 hanging ends to grip. Grab both ends of the sheet. Walk your feet forward under the door until your body is at whatever angle challenges you. The more you walk forward, the more horizontal your body becomes, and the harder the exercise gets. Pull yourself up toward the door. Your chest should come toward the door while your elbows drive back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together at the top. Lower yourself back down under control. Keep your entire body straight and rigid. No sagging hips, no arching back. Your core should be braced hard the entire time. This is what creates that total body tension we talked about earlier. Here's the beautiful thing about this exercise. You can instantly adjust the difficulty. Too hard? Walk your feet back so your body is more vertical. Too easy? Walk your feet forward so your body is more horizontal. You have infinite progression built right in. Do 3 sets of as many reps as you can with perfect form. Maybe that's 6 reps right now, maybe it's 15, doesn't matter. Just focus on quality movement and gradually increase over time. One caution, make absolutely certain that door is locked. If someone opens it from the other side while you're mid-rep, you're gonna crash to the floor. Also test your knot before committing your full weight. A failed knot is embarrassing at best, painful at worst. Now here's something most people don't realize about back pain and stiffness. You can do these exercises perfectly, but if you're still waking up with a tight back, dealing with nagging shoulder pain, or feeling like your body just doesn't move the way it used to, there's probably a deeper movement issue happening. I spent years training around these problems instead of fixing the root cause, and it kept me limited and uncomfortable. That's why I created Reboot Your Body, a complete step-by-step system that addresses how your entire body moves together, not just isolated muscle groups. Imagine being able to bend down and pick up your grandkids without your back locking up, or getting through your day without constant stiffness and discomfort. The link is in the description if you're ready to actually fix the problem instead of just managing it. All right, back to building that posterior chain. Let's hit the final exercise. Exercise 5, prone swimmers. Back to the floor for this final movement. Lie face down with your arms extended straight overhead. Now you're going to perform a swimming motion while keeping everything elevated off the ground. Lift your right arm and left leg simultaneously while keeping them straight. Hold for 1 second, lower them back down. Immediately lift your left arm and right leg. Hold for 1 second, lower them down. Continue alternating in a smooth, controlled rhythm. This movement pattern does several important things. First, it strengthens your entire posterior chain, all the muscles running along the back of your body from your neck down to your hamstrings. Second, it builds cross-body coordination and stability because you're working opposite limbs together. This mimics natural movement patterns like walking and running. Third, it trains anti-rotation core strength because you have to prevent your torso from twisting as you move your limbs. The lower back gets significant work here, which is crucial for preventing those sudden spasms that happen when you bend over to pick something up. Your glutes activate to lift your legs, your upper back and shoulders work to lift your arms. Everything coordinates together. This type of total body integration is what builds functional strength that actually transfers to real-life activities, not just isolated muscle development that looks good but doesn't help you move better in daily life. Start with 3 sets of 20 total reps, 10 on each side. Move slowly and deliberately. This isn't about speed, it's about control and muscle activation. As you get stronger, you can add small ankle weights or hold light dumbbells to increase the challenge. Your form should be strict. Keep your arms and legs completely straight. Don't let them bend. Lift them as high as you can while maintaining that straight position. Your head should stay neutral. Don't crane your neck up. Look down at the floor the entire time. If this feels too challenging initially, start with just arms. Do the swimming motion with your arms only while your legs stay on the floor. Once that becomes manageable, add the legs, build up gradually. Let's talk honestly about what these exercises can and cannot do. Everything I've shown you today is either a horizontal pulling movement or a floor-based posterior chain exercise. These will absolutely develop your trapezius, rhomboids, rear deltoids, and spinal erectors. Your posture will improve dramatically. That nagging upper back and shoulder pain from desk work will decrease significantly. Your back will get noticeably stronger and more defined. But here's the limitation. To fully develop your latissimus dorsi muscles, those large muscles on the sides of your back that create width and that V-shaped torso, you really need vertical pulling movements. That means pull-ups, chin-ups, or at minimum dead hangs and scapular pull-ups from an overhead bar. The exercises I've shown you provide some lat activation, especially the bed sheet rows, but they don't fully replace vertical pulling. So here's the strategic approach. Use these 5 exercises when you don't have access to a pull-up bar. They'll maintain your back strength and health. They'll keep your posture solid. They'll prevent shoulder injuries and eliminate upper back pain. But when you do get access to a bar, whether that's at a park, a gym, or eventually installing one at home, add vertical pulling to complete your back development. Until then, here's your practical program. Pick 3 of these 5 exercises. Perform them twice per week. Don't try cramming all 5 into one session. That's unnecessary volume that'll just leave you excessively sore without providing better results. Sample workout 1, backpack bent over rows, back widows, prone swimmers. Sample workout 2, bed sheet rows, water jug suitcase rows, back widows. Notice back widows appear in both workouts. That's because posture correction and scapular retraction strength are that important, especially if you sit for extended periods. 3 exercises per session, 2 to 3 sets of each, 8 to 15 reps for strength movements, like rows, 15 to 20 reps for corrective movements like back widows and prone swimmers. Rest 60 to 90 seconds between sets. The entire workout takes 20 to 30 minutes maximum. Progress strategically. For weighted movements like backpack rows and water jug rows, add more weight when you can complete 15 reps easily. For body weight movements like bed sheet rows, change your body angle to make yourself more horizontal. For floor exercises, add pauses at peak contraction or increase reps. Track your workouts, write down what weight you used, what angle you were at, how many reps you completed. This simple tracking ensures you're actually progressing over time instead of just randomly doing exercises. Consistency trumps intensity every single time, particularly once you're over 40. 2 quality back sessions per week using these movements will build more strength and eliminate more pain than sporadic heavy workouts whenever you feel motivated. Show up regularly, execute proper form, monitor your progress. Your posture will transform, your shoulder pain will disappear, your back will get stronger and more capable. Remember those 3 fundamental principles: pulling force directed toward your body, shoulder blade retraction, rigid core tension. Apply these to every single repetition of every exercise. That's what makes these movements work. That's how you build a strong, healthy, pain-free back without ever installing a pull-up bar. Give this approach 6 to 8 weeks of consistent effort. At the end of that period, assess honestly. Is your posture noticeably better? Has your back pain decreased? Are you stronger? Can you do more reps or use more weight than when you started? The answer should be yes to all of these if you've been following the program consistently.